I'm a dumbass. I forgot to change the video.
I was just going to start singing. Da, 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 da. And here's your host, Brett Bovey.
So if you're listening to this on the audio version, I edit the countdown on the audio version, so you don't have to listen to that. But last show and this show, I accidentally forgot to put the audio clip with the video itself. So I had to put that in post. That's why we're talking. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yep. Well, you get caught up. You're busy. You were putting up your set today, I saw, and
oh man, it was a day, that's for sure. Like,
yeah.
I was gonna do it Saturday, but I was just first is college football day, so it's like,
oh geez, yeah,
it's hard to do anything on that day. It's like but even then, I knew where I wanted to put them, but I was just kind of like, so my dad has these old hang-on sticks.
Yep.
Like the old one, like the ladder type, not the new type of sticks where it's like the single one and stuff like that. And that's what they used for the those old hang-on type styles back in the day.
Yep.
He sent me a picture and he says he has some of those, and I was like, well, shit, I forgot you even had those. Let me take those out and put them up in some trees. He had enough that I could use. I could put them up to get about like 15 feet up in the air on like 2 trees. I was like, oh, that's perfect. Just get me up off the ground, and I can always just use one of my sticks to get me up a little bit more if I wanted to. And I knew where I wanted to put them because when I was hunting last year and in the years prior, I saw these 2 just big gullies.
Yeah.
And like they were just like a bowl. And I was like, if I could just be somewhere in that vicinity.
Yeah.
During like the rut. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're a spot where I have my 360s now, they're fine, but I was like, man, those would be killer. I'd just be banking. So, but I also had some other spots I was kind of debating on too, but I was like, nope, let's just stick to where I want them. Put them there, and that's what I ended up doing today. So that took about 4 hours. I just wanted to get in and out. I just wanted to mainly just get them up and get some quick shooting lanes down. That way I kind of have at least something to go off of, and probably got to move them around, stuff like that, whatnot. But they're up running. That's what I did today.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
You getting any signs, seeing anything worthwhile, maybe something you might want to go after yet?
I have this one deer, and I told you guys about, I call him Pikachu. The neighbor called him Peekaboo. So I was like, oh, Pikachu. He's this nice 8-pointer. I think he's a 9, but it's hard to tell off the photo. It looks like there's just like this little bit of a kicker out on the front of it. But other than that, that's the only one. He's a nice 8-pointer. I think if you were going to score him, you'd probably score 120.
Okay.
In that ballpark, maybe.
Nice.
And other than that, we've had some EHD problems from what it sounds like. We haven't seen really anything great since like June, July.
Oh, geez.
And we just haven't really seen much on camera. So I don't know. My hopes for this season are always still high. You never know. The rut always just makes things just where deer can come from miles away and come on your property. You just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my dad was kind of questioning. He's like, why are you going out there in the woods, trampling around, this and that? I said, for a couple reasons. One, and it's going to get into tonight's topic of like being prepared for hunting season and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, I want to get these up. I have a saddle way of hunting now, so I'm more mobile. So I want to get these up in the tree and stuff like that. And I want to do it today because I'm not going to be out tomorrow on Monday. And like 85 today meaning Sunday, and tomorrow on Monday is going to be like 83. So I'm not going to go out Monday for hunting in the afternoon because it's just going to be so hot. So I just I want to get it done now and out the way. I thought I was prepared, wasn't prepared. And now just get this kind of like as much done as I kind of can now
Yeah.
before like the rut starts kicking in the late part of the season of
Right.
archery season. So that's why I want to get it done and out the way now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, definitely, man. I've had stuff, for years set up, stuff that I gotta, go in and check up on and make sure it's still good. And then I'm saddling it too this year.
Yeah.
I had I had added a set of aiders to my 4-stick setup, and man, dude, they're just too wobbly, man. There's
Yeah.
3 of them, and I get my first foot in it, I get my second foot in there, and it wants to kick left or right at a tree, and it's a pain in the neck. And I'm trying to get up. I get up the tree, I get on my sticks, I'm fine. Once I get the sticks, I'm up there. Then I got to come back down, and when I come back down, I got my lineman's rope around me, and I get down to that last step, and now I'm on the first step of the aider. Oh, and it's a pain in the ass. I got to loosen like the lineman's belt all the way up, get back enough where I can get leveraged like towards the tree to get my foot there on either side of the tree. And then my foot gets tangled up. And I end up like the one day I was like kind of stuck against the bottom of the tree. It was kind of funny because the lineman's belt was holding me against the tree, but my leg was like up here. And I'm like, oh, how I can't squat back up. I managed to wiggle my foot out and get it out. So this morning I said, screw it. I'm going to give the aiders to Dave because he likes them. I'm just going to mail them out to him. And I bought an extra stick, just one more stick for the bottom. So that'll get me up like where that aider was putting me before, because then I'll be about 16, 17 feet up and I'll be happy, with that. So it'll be good though. Like I said, I'm hoping it's supposed to, Amazon does that like early drop off. So I'm hoping it's coming as I'm going out the door.
It's already there.
Yeah. But
No,
if not, I'll use the setup again tomorrow morning, and then we'll do that. So
I'm looking forward to it because we also have rain coming up on Tuesday. It's going to be
and
raining.
Wednesday.
Yeah, rain most of like Monday night, like early, like late night, all the way up into Tuesday morning to late afternoon. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
I'll kind of get some of my scent out of there and shit like that. But
yeah,
no, it's the start of the season, so y'all know what that means. We kind of really don't have any fucking game plan for our shows unless we have a guest on. I don't think our next guest isn't for till November. So I kind of booked these out for the Sundays in October for us on a team because we've kind of had some plans for out trips, stuff like that. But no, tonight I want to talk about preparation.
Yeah.
So I kind of got a little late into it with the saddle stuff because I didn't get my saddle till mid-September-ish.
Right.
And so I got practice going up with it. And I'm just going to talk about the saddle itself. I'll get to the preparation stuff here in a second. But I practiced getting up and down with it, so I was looking great. And I'm going to explain my October 1st opening day conundrum. It's like, all right, it ain't no different. I got up and down in the tree. What's the difference between that and holy shit, Michael's there? I saw Michael in the comments. I was just thinking this today.
Yeah.
Hey, I haven't seen in a minute, Michael.
Well, he's going through puberty, so maybe his eyes are wandering to other podcasts.
Well, maybe. I mean, hang on. We do fuck with everybody. Well, we do fuck with him a little harder, but I was like, maybe he just didn't like us fucking with him anymore. Maybe that's why he left us.
I don't know. Like I said, it could be, other YouTube stuff he's looking at. He forgot about us cool guys here.
Maybe some Pornhub in it too. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe.
Don't stay off the Pornhub, Michael.
Yeah, geez. You're gonna lose an eye.
Yeah.
Don't do that stuff. It stunts your growth. Look at how short I am.
Oh, all right. Hang on. Let me finish this thing first. And then someone made a comment on our Instagram that I'm not going to call him out, but
I think I know.
You know, because you commented on it too.
Yep.
And but I'm not gonna call you out, but if you want to, we'll get to that
I'll come
point.
out. I ain't afraid of coming out.
So opening day comes.
Mm-hmm.
I have all my gear. I'm thinking, all right, I'm just gonna go out there and climb up the tree. Fuck no, that didn't work. So I have my bino harness. I didn't practice climbing up the tree with my bino harness.
That's hitting the steps.
That's getting in my fucking way with my because I don't use the lineman's rope. I just use a tether climbing up.
Okay.
And that's getting in the way of that. Then the sticks are fucking there. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I can't like lean into them because my bino harness is right there. And it just turned into like a giant fucking shit show. And then I was like, wait a minute, I forgot to get my bow, like a bow puller hoisty majiggy thing all set up. So I don't have that.
Otherwise known as a retractor, but that's okay. Yeah.
I like to use hoisty majiggy thing.
Yeah. Hey, do you guys have that hoisty majiggy thing Brett was asking about?
Yeah.
We need to get some of them back in stock.
We need those in stock pronto. Okay. So I didn't have that. Yes. And then I was thinking, I was like, well, fuck, I didn't bring like a little portable handsaw just to cut some stuff down just in case I needed it. Right, I was like, fuck me. So I said, fuck it. I took all my saddle stuff down. I put it down at the bottom of my 360 stand. Yeah. And I just hunted it out of there. Okay. And then that leads me into tonight's topic that I at least want to talk down is preparation. Is as much as you think you're prepared, you're not fully fucking prepared.
No,
you're not. And it's hard to plan and prepare for things that you don't know. Like for instance, maybe I could have done a little more research on the saddle stuff. Like, oh wait, did I have that and stuff like that? But I thought I was all set. So you might be in those situations where you think I have everything that's all set in place.
Yes.
But if you are in that situation, I didn't do this, and I always say to do it.
Yeah.
Take a second and just look at everything that you've done and think to yourself, are you sure you're not missing something? You should at least look at everything and just think to yourself, you're missing something, find it. And I didn't do that. And me missing that something was the saddle stuff, getting that more into game planning and gear preparation and stuff like that.
Sure.
And you have to, if you find yourself in those situations like I was in, like I felt like I was scrambling. And granted, I didn't hunt. I haven't hunted since last Wednesday because it's been so hot.
Yeah.
Let's say you got to get out. You want to get back out on Tuesday, the next day after opening day or the day after, whatever.
Right.
You gotta be able to think quickly on your feet. And luckily, I have the best fucking brothers and the best team put together. And they all were, I'm like asking them questions and they're like, all right, do this here. Here's a video for this. Here's a video for that. Check this out. Do this. This might work for you. Everyone's got these different little things. And I was like, fuck. And you know what the weird thing is? I didn't get overwhelmed. I was like, ooh, Squatch does this. Here's this, this, and this. Johnny does this, and this. And Dave's
when you said
here.
When you said you called and got videos from I thought maybe you reached out to like Boondocks Hunting or something. I didn't realize you meant us. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, like I asked these guys like every saddle question that I could fucking think of. And me and Johnny were talking, so we're gonna try and get together on Sundays and do like how-to videos. We're like, hey, do this and that. And it's gonna be great because I'm gonna be the guy that's gonna be like, well, I don't fucking know anything. Tell me more.
Yeah. So, you say be prepared and do a list. So this is my second year saddle hunting, and I probably saddle hunted last year maybe 15 times. Okay. I got fixed stands. It's a lot easier than screwing around with playing with the saddle stuff. But I got it to basically go out to Ohio last year and start to be versatile more around here instead of using a climbing stand and spots. So anyway, long story short, I bought the Ascender that has both ways on it. It's made by Mad Rock. It's got a brake in it. You could descend with it, all that stuff instead of the Kong and whatever. But I got in the tree and I'm using the lineman's belt to carry. And your lineman's belt has a Prusik knot on it to cinch it closer. The narrower the tree goes up, and you're supposed to suck it up so you stay tighter to the tree. Well, using one hand and holding on to the tree with the other, that is some pain in the neck, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I told myself last year, you got to buy another Ascender for that setup to hook to your carabiner. And then as you get close, you just pull it or you hit the other side and it lets it slip out. And you don't have to fight with it. And what do I get up in the tree? And I'm saying to myself, you forgot, didn't you? So I kicked myself in the ass and I said, all right, let me get on Amazon. Let me order this thing before I go up with Frank. Says next day delivery. Yeehaw. Guess what? It didn't come. So I had to friggin' do the old way again this time when I went out. Then I had trouble with the aiders, and it's on me, man. I got them right before season. It looked like a legit thing. I thought it was going to work out pretty good, and it just kicks me right in the old keister. I'm fat. I'm 50 years old, and I got tree trunks for legs that are short and stubby, and shit ain't for me, man. I'm like, I got to get another stick. So it's coming tomorrow, hopefully, like I was reiterating before. And yes, I'm also going down that path of getting more organized the further I get into the season, and it's okay. I've only, 3 or 4 hunts already. Everything else is great though. When I went up there, I'm feel good. I'm feel comfortable in the saddle. The platform's good. Frankie liked my sticks. He was like, man, these things are so light, man. I like these. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of why I went with them. And the way they stow together, they're cool, so
yeah.
I just bought an extra stick. I don't care if it's another pound. I'm pretty stocky. I think I can handle another pound, but make my life easier, especially, I don't need to slip and get hurt, man. I'm just, they'll find me out there like in the fetal position, screaming, probably have a possum as a friend soothing me or something out there. So, I don't need all that. Then I got to come back on the show and tell you guys I'm all busted up.
Yeah. Even an eye patch and everything.
Oh yeah, you wake up in a ditch with an eye patch. Yep.
Yeah. Do you have sticks out there like I did? They're already
I do. So I'm fortunate enough, like the spot that I hunt, I grew up there kind of. So I've got cameras running all over the place. So I kind of watch what happens around there. The best thing I do, Brett, is I take a stick out and I leave the rest up the tree. So I got to come in with one stick, just, wrap around a tree and go up. And I leave my set. I'll pick a spot that I'm going to hunt for a couple days straight. I'll leave my set in. I've gone as much as like probably like a week and a half with a set in a tree. I had it rain. I will tell you something. That am steel, that's the diameter of a paracord, is some impressive stuff. And I'm 245 pounds. I can get on that after it rains. It hasn't stretched. It hasn't moved. Everything's just as solid as I left it. And I'm very impressed with the way that stuff works. Plus, it's super lightweight. And I know you were checking out the XOP. I don't remember the name, but it's like a cinch. It's got a Prusik nut on it. You just cinch the.
Yeah, the HFAS. I have that
dude,
for the
I like
sticks.
that. I like that. I might have to get them myself because
yeah,
I already got that diameter cord, but I'm just going through a cleat, like making an X pattern and then wrapping around. But it would be cool to just loop and then cinch that tight to the tree and you're done. I'm all about speed and efficiency and
lightweight and speed.
Yeah.
Speed is speed.
Speed is king. Speed is king. It's like, if you can get in, because sometimes you're running late, and you get your stuff and it's dark. I got a nice red headlamp. I got the same one actually Dave bought. He showed me that. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get that.
Hey, Johnny's here.
Oh, Johnny.
Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry, just
here's Johnny.
What is going on?
All right.
I don't know.
We want the lowdown. Did you get one or not with the daughter?
Nope, we didn't get one. But we saw an owl, so she was hooting at the owl, talking with that. Oh yeah. And then she was feeding the deer. She was pulling bark off the tree,
nice,
breaking it up and throwing it to him to try to get him in. But dude, she had a blast, man, and that's all that counts.
Yeah, no, that's important.
That's what she's gonna remember the most is being out in the tree stand with you and having fun.
Dude, absolutely. And
so while we're on that, not to interrupt, but I got to tell you this story, and it's funny and it's gross. I'm a young kid. My dad and I are in this big wood stand that we built together. I was just getting over a cold, and your old man, you're serious with your old man. Your old man's serious. He's giving you that stone cold look while you're in the stand, fidgeting around. It was cold out and stuff, And I was starting to get to my wise ass mode in my years growing up. So I look at him and I'm like, what? And he's like, huh? I go, my nose, I get a booger and I go, and I ate it. And he's like, oh my God. He's like, you did not. And I'm like, yep. And we were laughing. He was laughing. And he'll never, he'll still, to this day, he'll bring it up. Remember that freaking time we were up in the stand? You ate that booger? I'm like, yep.
Sure do. Your old man was like, I can't believe you were 35 when you did that.
Yeah, no, I was only I think I was 14 maybe or something, but it was funny. Flipped them out.
I'll take my kids out just to submerge them in that environment.
Mm-hmm.
Get them out there, let them see the woods. Tonight, let them see some of the animals going to bed. Some of the other ones coming out. I was hoping to see some coons or a fox or something like that, But
where was the turkeys? I thought they'd been not different spot.
Nope, that was a different spot. And I told her, I was like, you know what? I bet you 7 o'clock we'll have turkeys on the trail camera. 7 o'clock came around and I swiped down. I had 5 does on it. I was like,
oh, jeez.
She's like, is that live right now? I'm like, yeah, that was 2 minutes ago. She's like, no way. I'm like, yeah, so they're out here. She's like, are they coming this way?
Yep.
Who knows?
I've been talking to Moultrie, and I've got them almost down to getting where you can teleport to where the deer is on your trail camera now. It's a new option.
Oh, my God, dude. You have no idea how much I'd pay for that. Especially when those giant 8s I have come out, dude. I'm just like, what? I've got 3 of them now. Yeah. I'm just like, oh, my God.
I mean, Brett won't get this one because he doesn't like the movie, but why didn't somebody else tell me my ass was so big?
It sounds funny.
It's off of Spaceballs when he gets teleported.
Stupidest fucking movie.
No, it's not. Dude. It's not.
Dude, all right. I got my kids today to watch Monty Python and the Search for the Holy Grail.
Oh, my God.
And, dude, they laughed. That's one of the greatest movies right there.
Their favorite part was probably to kill a rabbit.
Dude, it was. Yeah. So
I'd say Super Troopers.
Yeah, Super Trooper, maybe for your generation.
Yeah, that's a millennial.
It came out in your generation too, you fuck nugget bitch.
Yeah, but I have good taste in comedy.
Oh,
don't get me wrong, it's funny, yeah, but it doesn't compare to Mel Brooks or Monty Python.
No.
You just
dude. So, yeah, speaking of Monty Python, one of the greatest ones is The Life of Brian.
Oh, God.
Have you seen it, Squatch?
Yeah, I seen it years ago. Yeah,
watching that movie and how they depict religion is just so hysterical.
They just take everything and kind of and just throw it upside down.
Oh, dude, they do, and I love it, man.
Last I checked, this was a hunting show.
It was. So
oh, I'm sorry. Would you like to talk football or golf, my young fellow friend?
Speaking of, how's that doe hunting going, Brett?
Sucks.
Right over the back.
I attempted. I was even willing to break the family law to do it. I wanted to do that bad,
dude.
But hey, God said nope. We're like, all right. And then at the end of the day, I was just happy I didn't wound her. I was so happy I didn't wound her because I rushed that so fucking bad. That was next level beginner shit of just pure idiocracy.
Here's a question. Do you ever practice those rush shots?
I do. Like getting right there and I having to do it really quick. Yes.
Not only that, but standing with your back to the target, spinning around, drawing, and seeing how fast you can get a dead arrow off into that kill zone.
I haven't practiced that way.
So I do that a lot. And I'll do it where I have a 6-inch hole cut out of one of my targets. And I'll put it out. And that's the hole that I'm aiming for. And I'll spin around and I'll do some jumping jacks or a couple push-ups or something just to get that heart elevated or the heart rate elevated. Pick up my bow, put the release on it, have the arrow on there, turn around, and I try to get the shot off within 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And it's to practice that high-stress shoot that you might have to, like you have that doe coming in, and you have split second to make that choice if you're going to take her or not. And just it's not something that you can practice the first week of season and then be proficient at it.
Oh, that takes time. Yeah, that takes time. Yeah, it's not something to go like, all right, I'm gonna practice it today. I'm gonna go do that type of style of hunting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Fuck no. If you haven't been practicing like we have, then you can't really do that.
Especially Squatch and I. And I mean, you practice your long game for your golf, but
I practice more with the
saddle,
those suction cap bows and arrows.
Oh yeah,
suction cup.
Yeah, with a suction cup arrow. Yeah, I practice with those. Okay.
Yeah, the Nerf. You got a Nerf
like
bow.
the Nerf one.
Yeah. Well, that's because the last time you shot your eye out with the real ones, and
that's right.
Yeah, that's a good movie. No,
so getting back to what you were saying, what you're being preparedness there. You know, I mean,
yeah, and it's going to take time. Like it's with saddle hunting or just anything. I think you also just need to make sure to take the time to really evaluate what you got. And you're not going to know, like I said, you're not going to know if you're fully prepared. You might think that you really are. And then like I thought I was, then you went out in the woods and then your ass gets handed to you. And you're like, fuck, no, you're not even close, bitch.
Yeah.
And now you got to like re-step everything and reevaluate everything. And you just got to be able to adapt and overcome and not freak the fuck out, like, and just adjust to it and move on.
You know, with the saddle, everything's like by the number. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
you know, everything. If you have a system, once you get it down, it's like, okay, I have to start with my sticks and make sure everything's secure. And then my lineman's rope hooks to that loop and I'm secured to the tree now. And you go up step by step. And, you know, now, okay, I got to set my platform, have it up, cinch it tight, then lay it down, make sure it's set. Now you swing up into the platform. You're taking your bridge and your tether, and then you hook to your bridge. Make sure your bridge is attached to your saddle. Give it a little test bump before you disconnect from your lineman's. Take your lineman's off, tuck it in the pocket nice and neat. Pull your bow up. You got to set your hook up first. Pull your bow up. I've got that ring of hooks, so I put that around the tree and I hang my pack on it. Get your camera gear out, set it up. You know, everything's got a number. Everything's got a place. And the same thing when you get back down. It's just reversed. And, you know, you watch it on TV and it's like these guys look like spider monkeys and nothing's hard, but it's all cut out. It's, you know, super simple and they're not showing you all the bull crap you got to go through, you know, and it's like
power of editing.
Yeah.
But you see on those videos too, where it's like, well, all right, for demonstration purposes, we're just going to do this point. No, motherfucker. I want you to show me everything from start to finish.
Yeah.
I want so how are you doing this? I want to see what are you doing this and stuff like that. And don't I hate watching those videos. That's why I want to do my own with Johnny and be like, no, you're going to see every little aspect of it. Not just, all right, for demonstration purposes to save time. We're going to start from this point. No. How'd you get to that point?
Not only that, but you get to see so we're talking about
you're going to see errors.
Exactly. You're going to see what happens. Like for me, right? You guys all set your stitch, climb up, set another stitch. I do a single stitch climb.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many times I've dropped my stitch while trying to set it and reach around and set it in, or as I'm bending down to grab it to pull it back up, I'll drop it. And I'm like, well, shit. Okay, I've done that once. How am I going to fix this issue in the future? So it's all trial and error, and I've gotten pretty proficient with it. And I mean, I am comfortable with all of my gear, and I mean, you can tell. I'll switch it out and I'll try different sticks. I've got, I think I have 5 or 6 different types of sticks that I've used.
Yeah.
And I have the stick my trusty one that I go to anytime. And if I'm hunting in a different area, sometimes I'll grab another stick. But I mean, I know XOP is a huge sponsor of our show, and we got hooked up with a lot of their gear, and I use a lot of it. But still, for the stick that I'm using right now, I'll use XOP, the X2s,
Yeah.
But my favorite stick is this dude, the Muddy Pro. And it's just got that rope right here.
And this is great for single sticking it.
This is, oh, absolutely. And that way, when I'm tying it onto a tree, I just loop it around the tree and lock it in. And then you're golden. And then I have the AM steel that you were talking about, Squatch.
Yep.
I have a one-step aider, and that's all I need.
Yeah.
And you're talking about how you can run them in the rain and keep them out there for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll run mine. They'll be wet. They'll be frozen. And I had no issues with them. And one time I was like, well, this is, like you were saying, it's the same diameter as paracord or 550 cord.
Yep.
And I tried using paracord one time, and it's too stretchy. It will stretch out. It's meant to give a little bit.
Yes.
This AM steel, it doesn't give. It doesn't slack. I mean,
it does not stretch.
No, not at all. And I absolutely love that.
And I think so Johnny, like I said, Johnny and I've been talking. We like on some days we're going to be trying to get together and we're going to do like how-to videos with, and mainly focusing on saddle stuff and whatnot, because obviously this is my first year doing it. He's been doing this for X amount of years now, and Squatch is going into the second year.
Yep.
So you're going to see a lot of videos here coming up into next year. Just a bunch of what if, because my brain is always wondering, like, what if you do this or what if you do that type of situations. And one of my questions to you been like, well, Johnny, what happens if you moved up, now you're reaching back and you dropped your stick? What happens then? Just a lot of what if scenarios that I think that I can bring of asking type of questions that you don't see in a lot of how-to videos, that we might not know the answer right away. And we're like, hey, you know what if you did this?
Yeah.
What if you could hear, what if you move this like here and there? And like Johnny's got one way, like, well, hey, Johnny, what if you cut this right here? And a bunch of different scenarios.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
That's what I'm looking forward to it.
Did I show you how I set the camera up on my my carabiner?
Yeah.
So I have that C clamp. I clamp it on there. I have that Insta360, and I used the Brave 7 on there last year too. It works fine. But what's really cool about that, once you get it kind of aimed down at the direction you're going to be shooting, it don't really matter with the 360. I'm talking about the Brave if you use that, or a GoPro. If you swing this way or that way, your carabiner is automatically panning where you're going. So when you take the shot, you're on target. It stays right with you. And I just,
nice.
I was bored, man. I was just sitting there in the tree, and I'm like, I bet that'll fit on there, and I bet it'll pan if I won't have to touch it except for turn it on. If I turn it on, I can speak to it and just say, start recording, and it'll start recording. But with that Insta360, now you're getting the whole view of what is going on. You'll see me drawing back. You'll see me shooting a deer. And in editing, I can pan towards me. I can pan back towards the shot. I can zoom in on the shot. So that camera's pretty cool, man. I can't wait to mess with it. I did all the video when I was out the other day, just with my cell phone, and I put a short up on my YouTube channel. I saw a really nice 8-pointer in the morning. He was working a licking branch, and then the woods erupted. I had does all around me up there, so I just took some quick footage of does walking by right in bow range. But it's just too hot. I didn't want to rush, trying to cut a deer up somewhere I'm not used to being, and it's okay. I got time, and I'm off all this week and part of next week, so I'll be out. I'll be doing my thing. I'm after a good one, so we'll see.
You said something that made me think of what I did today when I was out in the woods, and I can't believe I did it either. I'm still surprised. I don't even know what made me think of doing it, but just something got in my brain. I did a mock scrape.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my God, I did a mock scrape. I fucking can't believe it.
Good.
I was finishing up with my tree on the very first one there, and I was walking out, and I happened to look back, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And I saw this one little small sapling tree, and it just had like these two, the way it was just hanging with these two branches there. I was like, oh fuck, these little mock scrapes that people do, that seems like it'd be a golden area. Perfect. Just knock this one branch off and the one above it would be perfect. And move some stuff around. And I took my little handsaw and I just cut up into the ground and just made this nice little circle there. And yeah, mock scrape out there.
Did you pee in it?
No, I didn't have to pee. I was like, all right, once I'm done here. And I was like, wait a minute, I don't have to pee.
Yeah. I usually do that. I'll just pee in them.
Yeah, I thought about peeing in it, though. That was the first thing when I finished doing it. I was like, all right, Squatch said to pee in it. He pees in his. So, but wait a minute. The belly's, the tank's full. The tank's empty, I mean. So,
well, the other day when I put my first setup out where I was after that one buck, the tree that I always see him go by on my camera, there was a perfect limb. Like you said, it was just about the right height. Yeah. I said, you know what? I got the rack getter rope. It's got the wooden balls on it to hang down. I had one of them from Gerard, makes some really great stuff. And
right there,
took it out and I had the stuff, you know, I put the ruts up on it. That's what I put on it, ruts up, because that's all I had. I got to get more stuff from Gerard. But I put that on it, and believe it or not, it took a day or two. I had some does go by. A buck was following the does, and then I caught him working that rope. So, you know, like I said, man, it's little things that make all the difference. And you know, you got to believe in the products you're using too. If it's if it's going to work, it's going to work for you. And that's a really good product, man. It's good. And actually, he was in the comments before he said hello. It was nice to see him join the show. We got our regular guys out there. We got the blind hunter Shane, as always. We got Mike. We had Justin on before, Flavors of the Forest. Nice to see all these guys keep continuing to support us and show their faces on here, as always. But
we love everyone out there.
You said somebody you wanted to talk about something somebody said. I don't know.
I was just getting ready to talk about that.
Oh,
okay. I was trying to look up the comment.
Okay.
All right. So we made I posted a video of Squatch talking about how he shows respect to the animal by breathing in. How about you just explain, Squatch? Just explain what you do.
No problem. So it's something I learned a long time ago. There was a fella that was on the Outdoor Channel or something when it was back on satellite. I can't even tell you the guy's name, but he was American Indian. I'm also have American Indian blood in me. And he did a ritual with giving the last rites to an animal. And you pick the head up, you just kind of like grab the snout. You don't put your lips up to it, but like you just kind of breathe in real deep and then point your head up and just blow out. And that's Indians. What they're saying is you're breathing in the soul of the animal and then releasing him back to the surroundings. You know, you're giving thanks. You're acknowledging that deer died for you. He made the ultimate sacrifice for you to enjoy, you know, to his food, his bounty. And then I also take the wound blood, and I always mark what the American Indians did was always mark the blood on their face to show respect for that animal, that they wore the blood of that animal in a you know, or if it was in a fight or anything, you know, they did that to show respect. And it's just something that I always do. People who hunt with me, if you're around me, I ask out of respect for the animal, please do the same thing, and you'll be blessed to get another deer the next year. And I also take a minute, I bow over the deer, you know, I rest my hands on the deer, I say a prayer for the deer, and I just thank the Almighty for another year and another animal. And there's just too many people out there that either think it's stupid, they don't get it. And we had a comment, and the guy's like, oh, well, I think
he says you can respect the animal by not wasting any piece of it, not that weird shit. I'm not going to say your name on here, but if you care to look at the comments, you can go do that yourself on our Instagram page. Yeah. But yeah, they commented, you can respect the animal by not wasting any piece of it, not that weird shit. Now,
I do not waste. I try not to waste. My grandfather, I've told you, got my backgrounds. I'm a third generation butcher here. And, you know, we were taught the proper way to take the meat off an animal. You know, of course, something I can't use. I mean, I'm sorry. It's going to go in the garbage pail, but anything that's edible, that's usable, I try to either clean. You see my European mounts behind me. I try to even respect the animal by doing that myself. If I can give a hide to one of the nations or somebody that takes them and makes moccasins or something out of it, let them do that. I've done stuff like that too in the past. But listen, if you hunt alongside of me, you'll see the respect that I have for the animals.
And now everyone's gonna have like their own way of showing. That's
Right.
just how, as hunters, I have my way of showing respect to the animal. And as hunters, I don't think there's any one of us that would like judge or anything of like that, how one hunter shows respect to the deer, because we all know that's their way of doing it. Might not be the way that I do it.
Right.
But it's, at the end of the day, it's important that we show respect to this animal that we harvested. And I think majority of all hunters, we all pray over the animals that we harvest.
Yeah.
I know one thing that I try to do, I don't do it every time, but I'll just sit there. I do pray over it every time, though. I do that.
Good.
But I'll just sit there kind of like on my knees and just like my shins like laying like there and like sitting there like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just kind of like say a prayer as I'm doing it. And then I start like wafting in like this type of motion. And then just like, and just kind of like that. That's just something I do. But
there's something to be said about once you harvest a deer, going up and laying your hand on it. Like, you're that first person to ever touch that deer.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what
I didn't even think of that.
I was telling that to my daughter tonight. And I was like, when you did a deer, no one has ever touched that deer before. So when you harvest that animal, you are laying your hand on it for the very first time. And that deer has never been touched by a human before.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, you can tell she thought about it for a minute. And she's like, well, yeah, like wanted to say something like, well, what about this? Or what about, and it's like, she like learned, she's like, you're absolutely right. Like, no one will ever touch that deer. Like, you're the first person to lay your hands on that animal. And that's
it's funny. Sorry to cut you off. It's funny. There was a time that I was a little extreme about how much respect for the animals that I had. My brother put a Santa Claus hat on one of the mounts, and I was like, get it off. And he's like, what? I'm like, that deer did not die to be mocked, to have some stupid Santa Claus hat on it in this house. I said, take it off. And he's like, you got to be kidding me, man. I'm like, I ain't joking. I'm like, that mount, that's a beautiful buck that you got. You were lucky. You didn't even put in as many years as I did. And you shot that buck. And I was like, don't freaking let me see that again. And he's like, calm down, man. And, thinking back now, I was probably a little, I was a little extreme because, but that's how pissed off I was. And that's another thing. People say, oh, they're not your deer. Yes, they freaking are. They're my deer. I watch them from the time they're born. Whether they die by me or somebody else, they're still my deer. I watch them. God made them. He put them in front of me to see. I build a relationship with these animals, and I'm so into them. They're a part of me, and it's when somebody else smokes one, it fucking hurts, man. I'm going to just say it like that. But I say congratulations. I get over it and I move on. But those deer are a part of me, man. I mean, it sounds stupid. Like, people are like, oh, yeah, there was a time when guys didn't name their bucks and they just went out and shot deer out of wooden tree stands. Okay,
well, you build relationship with deer, and we watch them on camera. Like, we don't like
it's
we're
like
building relationship with these deer.
Yeah, it's like watching wrestling and not having your favorite wrestler, but you watch wrestling.
Yeah,
I mean, or like
that's my favorite team, and
yeah, come on, it's like, no, dude, I'm that crazy into this shit that I get into it. I'm a nut. I'm a freaking nut. I go out and I'll say, oh, the Big Nine, or I had Mr. Perfect last year and Clyde and all these deer, man, and I'm like, you just like every time this phone goes, but ding, and I see that M from Moultrie, I'm like, maybe it's him.
Oh my God.
And I go, no, I'll wake up at like 3 a.m. It goes off. I'll hear it. I'm like, oh, who's moving right now? Where am I going in the morning? I'm a psycho, dude, when it comes to this stuff. And that's my level of loving what I do. I'm into it 150 million%, that I will name deer. I will be upset when somebody shoots another buck, but I'll get over it and congratulate them. And yes, I have a personal relationship. And when I kill that sucker that I've been after, you ever watch Dog the Bounty Hunter? He's all amped up. He's like, you mother effer, blah, blah, blah. Kick your ass, boy. And he's like, here, have a cigarette. Let me help you, into the jail. Hey, man, I'm sorry we were so rough with you. That's kind of like me. I'm dog that goes after you. I'm going to kill you. When I get you on the ground, I feel remorseful. I'm sorry, but I'm thankful. And, that's me. I'm a living, breathing, hunting machine lunatic. And that's the only way I can put it. And I love what I do. I love who I hang out with and who I hunt with and surround myself with. And, it says a lot. It says a lot. I mean, when you see somebody take the extra couple of seconds, and I won't even cut the deer. I won't gut him. I won't touch him until I give him his last right. I pray over him. And it's funny. The kid I call my son, Corey, we were up in the mountains. I never went up there. Those 2 bucks that are behind me, I shot them 30 seconds apart. I thought I missed the first one. I didn't. Anyway, his friends are there. We come out with the 2 deer, and I kneel down on the trail, and I thanked Almighty God, and I said, thank you. And they're like, what's he doing? Corey's like, you see that? And he's like, yeah, what's he doing? He's like, that's why that dude's so successful in the woods. And they're like, no kidding. He's like, he doesn't ever not do that. And I feel grateful that I was able to pass that on and teach him that. And, whoever else is there. But they just couldn't believe it. They're like, what? Why is he doing that? What's that all about? It's called respect, bro.
Yeah.
I'm old school. I was taught things aren't, you just don't walk in the woods and use what's there and then take a crap and then walk out and just, no, there's a meaning for all that. There's reasons why you see what you see and experience what you experience. And it may not be even killing a deer. You're just chilling out. You're relaxing. Maybe you're getting that downtime you need to recharge. You're listening to all the different stuff going on. And people with their annoying ass leaf blowers for hours just going on while you're trying to
hear that
deer,
shit, man. The fuck off.
We have helicopter tours now that it's fall.
I got a jump plane that flies over all the time.
So we have helicopter tours, and they'll hover right above the trees where I hunt. And I'm like, oh my God. And it's like every 35 to 40 minutes, they're flying different people out.
Yeah.
And they'll fly right over my spots. And I'm like, do they see me?
Mm-hmm.
Or what? Like, they're just like, there's been times where I'll hunt a different spot and they'll fly, the power lines are all cut and clear cut.
Me too. Yep.
And they'll fly the power lines and they'll just sit there and hover. And I'll look out and I'll like wave up to them and they can clearly see me, dude. And they'll wave down. And I'm like, well, I'm going to sit here because it happens every single year and the deer are never phased by it. They're just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. And they'll take off and the deer will come out.
Yeah.
I mean,
mine is the neighbors to the south. They have they'll ride their dirt bike or four-wheeler and they'll be going. I remember because it was getting towards the rut too, and they were just going. You need to hear it go away. Then they come back, and then you just hear him going. I'm like, shut the fuck up! You're gonna make me want to jump out of this tree. Fuck. Oh man. I'll say this as the last point. We kind of close out for tonight.
Yeah.
So I will say this though. Like I said, so we only do shows on Sundays during the hunting season. You catch the Frank and Squatch show on every other Tuesday, and the Mysteries and the Timbers every other Tuesday. Johnny's first show is going to be Tuesday the 28th. Make sure to stay up on our calendar to see when shows are going to be and when not be. But here during the hunting season, because we've put a lot of time into the actual I want to say the actual live show, but like during the off season, we're putting a lot of work into our stuff as well. And we kind of want to enjoy this time with our friends and family, but we also still want to make sure that we're kind of pushing out stuff for you guys and hear how we're doing. And we kind of just want to sit back, relax, and just talk to shit mainly. And leave the non-hunting season, get guests on and talk to them and stuff like that. But another point I want to make. One thing I did notice, I said this a couple of episodes ago, or maybe one thing that I see, it was like 2 years ago, I think it was. The biggest thing that was pissing me off the most, and it was so hard not to just lay into these motherfuckers, when I'd see them taking pictures of like them with the deer, like, and they were laying next to it and they were taking a selfie, like, hey, me and so, and their head is up and this and that. And then that one was one of them. And then another one was where they were taking it like a beef stick or something, to where like, hey, I'm taking you to where we first met. I can't, I don't know. I see that type of shit and that just pisses me off the most. And I just want to like yell into these motherfuckers. I'm like, you don't need to be doing that, man. There's no room for that in this type of culture that we're trying to build here. You're diminishing the culture that we're trying to build, and it's not about that. We're trying to use hunting as a way to provide for our family. It's a way of how we want to live our life. It's a way of how God wanted us to do this and to provide for our families. And what you're doing by doing that is basically a slap to the face to us as hunters and the community and the culture that we're trying to build. This is a family. This is a brotherhood. It's a sisterhood, whatever the fuck you want to say. And for you to do that type of childish bullshit makes me just, if someone was to come on the show and I was to come find out that you did make those type of posts, I'm going to call you out on the live show. I'm just going to let you know now. So that's it on that point. But yeah, there's my rant.
I hear
There's you. I'm a little pissed because I recorded my opening day too of the does coming in and me shooting and missing and this and that. Then when I went to download it, something went wrong with the files and it never downloaded. So I'm like, fuck, geez. I did all that
I've
worrying,
had that
getting all my shit out there and this and that. And I'm like, I can't even fucking use any of it. So I was pissed.
I had a whole coyote hunt that was really cool on, and I plugged it in and it just, the whole file and everything, it showed there was something there, but we couldn't open the file.
Yeah, like, that's what happened to me.
I'm like, no. And I even got my buddy who's a techie. I'm like, come on, you can figure this out. He's like, it's gone, dude. I'm like, don't tell me it's gone. That was perfect footage. And he's like, I'm sorry, it's not there. He goes, I can see where it was, but it's gone. And I'm like, Bill Gates, you son of a
fucking bullshit, man.
But yeah, man.
But yeah,
you know, like I said, at the end of the show, I can close this out like always. But just let me know when you're ready, bro.
Let me I do want to take another second and say thank you to everyone that tunes into our amazing show here at Whitetail Advantage. We love each and every one of you out there. This is a brotherhood, so we may poke fun at you and stuff like that, but we hope you know that it's all in good fun and love and nature and stuff like that. There's no ill intent behind it all. We're just trying to be fun and embrace who you are. Like I saw this video of this comedian who's got autism, and he's up there like shaking and this and that, and he goes, and he's embracing it. And he goes, loosen the fuck up, guys. Like, I have autism. Just like, I accepted it. Why can't you? Yeah. And this and that. I just thought he was cracking me up, dude. Like,
Blue? Was it Josh Blue?
I can't remember his name right now. But
funny, man.
Oh, he's funny. He's got that messed up arm.
Like, he's like up there and he's like shaking and he's got like this dark beard.
Yeah.
And oh my God, I love that man. Like, he's fucking hilarious. But I went off topic there, but just thank you to everyone that downloads the show, tunes into our shit. Means a lot to us. I know we don't say that a lot, but we really do love each and everyone out there that's a fan of the show, it's part of the show and stuff like that. It's brotherhood.
You know what's really cool is when you update us, like recent downloads, and all of a sudden, like they start popping up from across the world.
And you're like, we had like 160 downloads from England.
Yeah. Like that is crazy.
And that's just in this month cycle. So the place that I use, it gives me month increments if I want it, or 2 months, 3 months, so on. So just this month cycle of September was 160 from England.
Nice.
So I was like, fuck.
That's
we got people around the world, Johnny.
That's because they can't hunt over there. They got to live through us.
No, but that's another. Yeah. So thank you to that. We're excited for these new shows that we got coming up. Before we close out, Johnny, why don't you give everyone a little taste, kind of a little bit? It's your show. I don't want to get into it. You tell us what your show is kind of be about.
Yeah, of course, man. So, Mysteries in the Timber, right? This is going to be a play on different disappearances of hunters and people, mostly in like national parks, kind of like the missing 411, if you've ever heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be stories of different, basically campfire spooky stories that are true or that's happened around, or like fun facts that you don't know. So the first episode is going to be about a man from my area. I grew up in this town. Stephen Kubecki is his name. And he went disappearing. And I'm going to go into that, what happened after he was found, and the area that he disappeared, and all the local legends and the history in that area. Because a lot of people don't know is Michigan has its own triangle, kind of like the Bermuda Triangle, it's the Lake Michigan Triangle. And we're going to dive deep into that. Go the history of that, the history of the disappearances. And Stephen Kubecki is a man that I've dove deep on numerous times. He's, different podcasts have covered his story, and I'm hoping to go a little bit deeper and bring in the fact that this is my town that he disappeared in. So I have a different insight than anyone else who's ever done that story.
I'm excited for it. And his show is going to be January through September. You're going to catch his show the fourth Sunday of every Sunday, the fourth Sunday of every month. Sorry. He'll be live on our YouTube channel. October through December, he'll be doing it every Tuesday. And so I'm looking forward to that. Squatch, give us yours, and I'm going to have some cool news too about your guys' show too.
Yeah, so Frank and I, you guys all know Broadside Ambush Frank. He joined the forces of Whitetail Advantage with us to hang out. Unfortunately, our buddy couldn't make it tonight. He had some family things to take care of. We miss him. But yeah, Frank and I are going to get in some good discussions. We may have some guests on, that we know pretty well and we've dealt with in the past, just some friends and stuff. We're going to take it a little bit to the next level, kind of stuff, a little bit different than what we get on subject here, a little bit more in depth. It's going to be good, man. We got some stuff in the works. I believe this Tuesday, the 7th, we're on.
Yep, you're up. Your next episode's this Tuesday.
Yeah, this Tuesday. So everybody that follows Whitetail Advantage, everybody who followed Frank out there on Boondocks and still follow Boondocks, make sure you guys tune in and check me and Frank out. We got some good stuff to bring. Even if it's unfortunate stuff we may be talking about, but you got to take the good and the bad all together. I think it might be a good topic to bring up, actually. So keep you guys in a little bit of suspense. Spoiler alert, though, on Johnny's show, that Kawicki guy wasn't found in Dave's basement, as we all know. He
ended up there.
Yeah,
he did end up there.
He wandered into Dave's basement. Dave's got, a lot of room down there, but no, they didn't find him there. Just a spoiler alert for you guys, so you didn't get your hopes up. But yeah, no. So make sure you check out Johnny's show along with the Whitetail guys. Check out everybody. I'm going to start doing some videos again with my own the Outdoors and More with the Squatch on YouTube. I'm a slacker. I'm trying to get stuff together and do it, but there's just so much going on, and I want to hunt. I want to hunt, but I am going to video, and hopefully I can hit that record button quick enough where I can get some deer down.
You can catch the Frank and Squatch show January through September, the fourth Tuesday of every month. October through December, you can catch them every other Tuesday. Like I said, their next show episode is going to be this upcoming Tuesday, the 7th. Some cool news is both of your guys' kind of show is going to be hopefully uploaded onto the website and bio, stuff like that. Hopefully by the end of the week, if not next week. So you're going to have your own little cool thing about it. So I thought that was cool. So I'm going to get that all done for you guys. And another thing, what's going to be cool about their show is I'm not on the motherfucking show. They can invite me on, but it's their show. So you get, if you get tired of listening to the Whitetail Advantage and you're like, well, can I just tune into an episode where Brett's not fucking there? Well, you're gonna kind of
all
get
what
it.
we want.
Yeah. I mean, they can invite me. I have no problem coming on and joining a part of it. But in no way am I like the host or a main guy. No, this is their shit.
No,
I'm not on it.
We're thankful that you were cool enough to let us run with that. And big shout out to Mike over at Boondocks, Garden State Outdoorsman. You know, it was kind of like wasn't like we wanted it to be anything but to include and give shout outs and stuff like that, man. We still love those guys over there. There's nothing going on. Don't believe the hype if anybody says anything.
Yeah.
We're all hunting buddies. We're all pals. We all still talk. I mean, everything's good. We just went this avenue. So.
Mike will always be in my good gracious because he said that I'm part black, so I can say the N-word.
Right. Yeah, you are. Gingers are. Yeah.
But why were you saying it before he said that, though?
It's just don't pay me into a corner, Johnny.
He was just testing the waters with Mike. That's what he was doing.
Right,
He was just testing the
waters.
Yeah. So you could get away with, you know.
Well, before we get to Squatch's prayer, again, thank you to everyone tuning in for tonight's show. Make sure to tune into Frank and Squatch show this upcoming Tuesday. We'll see you guys on our next show next Sunday at 8:00, like our usual time. Johnny, how can people find you?
Go ahead and find me on Instagram. That's pretty much where I'm at Johnny Nitro Night. Find me there. I don't have a YouTube. Hopefully, Brett, we can start putting some videos up on the Whitetail Advantage podcast or on the Whitetail Advantage YouTube page. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at.
Squatch, tell how we can find you guys and then close it out with the prayer, brother.
All right. Instagram, Outdoors More with the Squatch. Sundays, every other Tuesday or every fourth Tuesday on the Frank and Squatch show, Whitetail Advantage. You can catch me on episodes of the Garden State Outdoorsman podcast with Mike Nitre and all the funky bunch out there, and YouTube channel Outdoors and More with the Squatch, and anything else I do with the name Squatch on it, I'm there usually. So
before you say your prayer, let me just say this because it's now going into the hunting season and how we do our shows. So like I said, our shows, you're going to be, if you listen to the audio version, we release them every Monday and Wednesday, but since we're not doing them on Tuesday, we're only going to be releasing them on Mondays for the Whitetail Advantage show at 5 a.m. Eastern time. If it's going to be a Frank or Squatch show or Johnny's show, Mysteries on the Timbers, those will be released on Wednesdays. And so we'll still be doing that. So make sure to stay tuned on that. And, but if you like the show, make sure to tune, like, and subscribe in. You can all listen in. Squatch, take us out with a prayer.
Absolutely. So being that we touched tonight on respect, for God's creation, I came up with Job 12, 7 through 10. If you guys know the Bible, Job was one of the most tried persons in the Bible about his faith. And he says, ask the animals, and they will teach you, or the birds that fly in the sky, and they will tell you, or speak to the earth, and it will teach you, or let the fish in the sea inform you. In his hand is the life of every creature and the breath of all mankind. So, guys, I leave you with that. God bless you all. Shoot straight and go get them, boys.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Whitetail Advantage Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you next time.